Hello and welcome to this episode of Focus on Westville. Today we're joined by Miss Seashore Line Outstanding Teen Madison Weslsh. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. So what grade are you in?
I'm a junior at Gloucester Catholic High School.
Okay. And perfect. You go to Gloucester Catholic. Why did you start getting into these pageants? What made you go into this and want to be involved?
When I was 4 years old, my dance teacher approached me and said that she runs her own pageant and wanted to get me involved. So then I started with little local ones. And then I was brought into the Miss America organization as a princess. And I started that when I was 7. And then I went into the teen program, which is what I am in now. And I'm now on my journey of competing for Miss New Jersey's Outstanding Teen.
Awesome. Do you see this going further? Do you want to take this further? When do you want to stop?
Absolutely. Ever since I was younger, I always wanted to be Miss America. So this is my last year competing for Miss New Jersey's Outstanding Teen, and then I will be eligible to compete for Miss New Jersey and then Miss America.
So your platform, is that something you want to keep along the way? Do you want to change it up, or do you just want to keep the same platform going and same goals and everything?
No, absolutely. I will continue my work with internet safety, not only while I'm competing for teen and for Miss, but also outside of the pageant world. I've spent a lot of time and a lot of effort building this platform, and I will continue to work with it.
All right, what are some ways that you've reached out to the community to show them about internet safety and everything? Who have you contacted? Have you contacted any organizations? Who have you been working with for this information? Stuff like that.
I have worked with the DARE officers and the DARE program. I've been into several schools with them. I've worked with the county sheriff. I've been to Girl Scout meetings. I'm hoping to team up with the prosecutor's office so I can have more interaction with parents. I'm also a spokesperson for the National Exploited Children organization, and for them I use their approach of internet safety as well in my platform.
So why did you choose internet safety?
When I was younger, I was bullied online, and that was hard for me to get through. That was hard for me because I never really had anyone to educate me on what to do on the internet. So as a platform of internet safety, that is something that I touch on. But not only that, but kids don't really know how to post positive online. They don't know what's appropriate and what's not appropriate. So that is why, essentially, I chose my platform of internet safety.
Nice. What are your goals from here?
My goals with my platform is to not only make the internet a safer environment, but also to make it a more positive environment, because yes, there are a lot of positive things online, but unfortunately I find that there is more negative online than positive. So my goal is to make the internet a positive place to be.
What kind of demographics does this usually involve with kids and stuff like that that are involved with the internet and everything?
I teamed up with the DARE program, and I start with 5th grade, and then I work my way up. I find that at 5th grade, they're sponges, and they tend to just beginning to get social media sites. So that's where I start to educate them.
So what are some ways on how parents can be involved in this to solve the cyberbullying? What can they do with their kids in order to make sure this doesn't happen?
I make sure that the kids do have their parents on Facebook, not only their parents, their aunts, their uncles, their grandparents, their brothers, their sisters, everybody, just to make sure that they are sharing positive instead of negative. And I do tell the parents to make sure they have their login information, because they can't see their messages, they can't see who they're following. So if they have their login information, they can follow that as well.
Okay, what are some things that, everyone has friends, everyone has this, everyone has that. What are some things that people, kids, teens should share and should not share?
I tell them never to share personal information, never share where you're going, where you live, your cell phone number, because I have seen several times, oh, I'm home alone, somebody come visit me. Not a safe thing to share. Something safe to share is I love family time, I love this, I love that. Nothing personal.
Okay. Now let's say someone is involved, a teen or someone, they are involved, they don't feel safe anymore. They feel like they're in danger. They don't necessarily want to tell their parents this. What are some things that they can do if they feel caught up in something like this.
I know it's hard to go to your parent to tell them that you're being bullied or you're being stalked online, because then you're afraid that they're going to take your social media site away. But the first thing they do have to do is tell their parents. Unfortunately, most kids don't do that, and they go to a trusted adult like a teacher or a dance teacher or an athletic coach. But not only that, but I also have a website, and on my website I have a contact part on my website where you can go on and you can email me, and I will be there as well to help.
You hear about this kind of stuff all the time. Sometimes on the news, sometimes here, sometimes people can't, especially kids in Jersey, you hear it all over the country. You hear it in California, you hear it in Michigan, you hear it in Florida. Sometimes people can't necessarily relate to that because it's another state. It's not my kid. It's not me. It's not this. Has there been any major cases where this has happened and could have been prevented?
I hear all the time, oh, I live in a small town. It will never happen to me. It can happen to anybody. Autumn Pasquale, a young girl, she was lured from Facebook. They wanted her bike parts. They messaged her on Facebook. They commented on her photos. They lured her to their house. She didn't give them their bike parts. And unfortunately, she was killed. It can happen to anybody.
That's definitely true. So when people talk about social media, forms of social media, it's a huge window. What are some, I know Facebook, but what are some other forms of social media out there that, kids go on, teens go on, where this can happen?
There are new social media sites popping up every day. It's hard for me to keep up, and that is what I do. I have to keep up so I can keep educating everybody. But the major ones that they have are Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Snapchat is new. That's a big thing. And there's a lot of social media sites, and there's a lot of ways that kids can be stalked or contacted by a stranger. It's a dangerous place.
Right. Social media, I don't want to sit and say social media is all bad. There are positives to social media. But this does happen. It's a real thing. So what can either parents or kids or guardians or anyone that's watching, what can they do if they, if their kid's on Facebook and stuff like that? I have a Facebook account. I'm not saying I'm stalked or anything, but what can people do in order to, hide their privacy, make sure that kind of stuff doesn't happen? What are some safeguards? Are there any safeguards within that software, within that platform, essentially, that they can do in order to solve this?
It's very simple to stay safe online. All you have to do is go into your settings, and there you go. You can have your privacy settings. I know that with my pageant coming up, my social media sites are open to everybody, so they can see what I'm doing and can see what I'm doing and how to get involved. But I'm safe with what I post. My parents are on my Facebook every day, and I know how to handle Facebook. But at a young age, you have to stay private because you don't know what you're doing. You're just now getting into the world of the internet.
One of the things we were talking about earlier off camera was the positive challenge. What is the positive challenge, and what can people do to get involved?
The positive challenge is something that I started on Facebook, and what it is every day I post something new to challenge everybody to post positive instead of negative. And here's an example. I posted on Wednesday. Post an influential woman in your life who has made an impact on your life, because hashtag WCW Women Crush Wednesday is a huge thing on Instagram and Twitter. So that's just an example, and people getting involved, I can see, even if they're not doing my positive challenge, that they are posting positive instead of negative.
All right, folks, let's make sure everyone out there is posting positive instead of negative. I'd like to thank our special guest, Miss Seashore Line Outstanding Teen Madison Weslsh. If you want to get in touch with Madison, her website and contact info are on the screen. Hopefully everyone has a good holiday season. And once again, thanks for watching. See you next time on Focus on Westville.